I want to thank everyone for being here for the October ET board meeting at Farsight. And today we have Ebonique with us again, and I'm supposed to explain it just a little bit. The ETs on our ETs, the ETs were very happy with how the last board meeting went, because there was a lot of rapport. Even, Kamaya, Entisam, Shante, Yame, they all liked interacting with Ebonique. But there's another thing. She's been my go-to person every time I have to go to the shifts. And so that's been very helpful. And because everybody is sort of family here in the sense that she considers you her sisters and so on, and Aziz her brother, it's useful for the human audience for them to get used to Ebonique. So not only is everybody here comfortable with her, but eventually the human audience that's watching these videos will know that they're seeing the same person every time. Because when you see anything in the UFO literature, it's always a different alien, a different ET, a different this, a different that. It's never like the same one. And personalities don't develop. You don't understand someone's personality unless you see them repeatedly. So Ebonique is going to be coming back and talking about different subjects always, but she'll be the go-to person for us. Other people will sometimes come as well. Other ETs will come as well, but she'll be the one that'll be coming a lot, so that we are feeling more free to ask her questions, especially when stuff hits the fan as the months go on and the society gets more disrupted and so on like that, so that we're going to have a friend that we know that we can trust, that everyone can trust and just talk. Other than that, she wants to talk to her sisters first. So let me shut up and let you guys start. And this is the October ET Farsight Board Meeting, and it is officially begun with me being quiet. Yemi, why don't you start by telling people how you sensed it was Ebonique when you walked in the room? Okay, and then I'll be quiet.
I was trying to hide. You just told them
Yeah, but you sensed it when you walked in the room.
Yeah, when I walked in fashionably late, and I said, I feel like Ebonique's gonna be here today. And so just right before we got onto the camera, she appeared, and Dr. Brown told us why, and I was like, cool, I was right. Her energy has a different feel in the building than the other visitors we have had. Not that anything is wild, well, they're all wild, but not that anything is crazy about it. It's just it's like a calming water feeling, if it's that I got when I walked in, and then that's what made me think of that and to say that. The end.
Well, she's really happy to be here with you guys. So you want to say something, Entisam or Kamaya?
I do want to, so I know that you're often on the ship and whatnot, and that you and Courtney communicate in reference to Farsight and a few other things as well that we're doing here within Farsight. But I am curious about how to take part in things like that. Like how can the rest of Farsight communicate more directly with you without a board meeting, are the things I'm curious about.
The message I feel like I'm getting is just to reach out and taking the initiative to reach out and putting yourself into a silent state. That's sort of like a signal or a call, and the visual I'm getting when I'm saying that is something akin to like, your phone buzzing or beeping or like getting a notification. But of course that's a metaphor. It's not actually, there's no like astral phone or something like that, but
really softly.
Anyway, that's basically the experience that I was getting from that telepathic exchange.
I can add something to this from my personal experience. Yeme, the more you do it, the better it comes, the easier it becomes. It's just like anything. Just the more you swim, you got really good at swimming after swimming for a while. So there's no like really one trick. It's just you do it. The more you get used to talking with the same person. Every time you have a board meeting here, you get used to talking with Ebonique, and sooner or later you'll realize you can connect with her in a blink of an eye. Anywhere you are, it's practice makes perfect, that type of thing. So there's no real special thing or trick you have to do.
I get the sensation as well from this, just from the telepathic energy here of that this is something we can all do with each other as well. That this is once again something that needs to be practiced, a skill that needs to be honed. But the more you do it, the more clear it gets. I think that's also something that she'd like to express to the audience as well. That a lot, pretty much almost all of these psychic abilities that you hear about are things that at first seem vague and ephemeral and stuff like you think like, did that really happen or is that really there? But the more that you actually engage with it, the more that you put yourself in those situations, the more certain that you get about the sensations that you're experiencing. And then it becomes clear like a 4K television. You don't doubt it. You just know in certainty and from a state of knowingness that this is what's happening, that these communications are real, that these perceptions, visuals, those are real. So, yeah, I think that's something that she wants to convey as well.
Yeah, I can attest to, since our last board meeting, a few times I'd walk outside and I'd just kind of like, Ebonique would pop in my head and I'd kind of like look up in the sky, and maybe these are the pings that I'm receiving from her, and she's probably sending them out to all of us to kind of get us used to that kind of communication. And the other thing I was picking up from Ebonique is that it's not a coincidence that Farsight is female heavy, that there's more women than males in Farsight, and that's all done. It's all very, very deliberate from their side, from our side as well. I'm getting that it's important to introduce this, female leadership in this sense into the universe, because, well, for a long time, Earth was it had a good balance of matriarchal systems, and when we lost that matriarchal systems and the patriarchy took the center stage, there's a lot of things that went off balance, and that this is an attempt to put us in balance. Because we're bringing in a blend of, there's that softness, there's intuition, there's empathy, and obviously, Courtney and Aziz, they bring the kind of like that strong leadership aspect to the table, and then the rest of us can kind of balance that out.
Yeah, also remember the commander of the entire Free Will ET Armada is a lady.
It's a woman.
I just call her the lady. But I think most of you have spoken to her, or
Yeah.
And she has a very pleasant but strong personality at the same time. But she's essentially my boss, our boss. And so, Shantae, do you want to say something? Shantae, why don't you start by telling people where you are? That I know that you don't go hopping countries every week, but what country are you in now?
I'm still in the United Kingdom, so I'm in London. Yeah, I've been here for over a month now, so as far as, I don't have anything to say yet. I mean, I will say today, actually earlier, I was thinking about Ebonique, but it wasn't like, I don't think I was getting a direct communication or message. It was just kind of like a reminder of her. But I was also thinking of how I could see visually the connection, or like visually is like a representation of the communication between like Ebonique and Courtney. It was like a very strong, established line of communication. So I think with Yeme's question of how we could build that, it kind of felt like maybe, like, yes, we initiate the communication, for example, or with the board meeting, we're kind of initiating, we're opening up a space. So I think that is just one way, I guess, to just continue to initiate. But it felt like her presence is not guaranteed. I guess that's the thing. That was the feeling that I was getting from her. Like, maybe just because you reach out, it's not immediately going to be obvious, or something like the communication. I don't know, yeah. But, yeah.
Yeah, she clearly doesn't want everyone to become addicted to her, so that it's like going to Ra or something like that, where everyone goes to the same oracle or anything. So that's not what the free will ETs do. But there is the element of familiarity, just like you would with anyone, with a friend, just familiarity. And that's good. And that will also be conveyed to the audience, familiarity, and but not, like, if you look at the recordings of Ra, for example, that you hear on the internet and so on like that. We've done projects on Ra, and so he sets himself up as almost a god, and that people come to him, and he has to, it's almost like a slave mentality of people have to adjust the channeler to be like 1 degree this way or 1 degree that way. It's just like you're on the edge of your seat with this sort of fanatical type of crazy control. But that's totally the opposite of what the free will ETs do and what Ebonique has in mind in communicating. For her, it's more, and unlike the other ETs, it's more like, hey, dude, what's happening? Let's just be a normal person, no worship, no nothing. In terms of the visibility aspect, we have to remind everyone that the normal human physical body can see only the visible light spectrum, and that's an extremely narrow band of the electromagnetic spectrum. So it's not unusual at all for extraterrestrials to span a much larger range of the electromagnetic spectrum, and you can't sort of see that, but with training you can. And so let me ask, Kamaya, do you have anything you'd like to say?
Yes. I was going to say that I'm getting a visual of some sorts that it feels like Ebonique's being watched. I feel a presence over her presence. So, and then the energy feels more serious than it did last time. And that just kind of comes from, I feel like there's someone else kind of behind her looking into the board meeting.